Welcome to the hottest episode yet. Today you'll be meeting a scurvy pirate, meet the god of the underworld. With a willpower great enough to move mountains, this guest built enough props to recreate Hades in a warehouse so that his 500 closest friends could enjoy a show unlike anything a mere mortal has ever seen. Enjoy. This one is a doozy. Hello to all you creative geniuses out there. Thank you so much for joining this episode of Art on Fire. My name is Joseph Andrin and today's guest is James Hastings, better known as Baron Stygian, the overlord of Stygian Industries, creator of the Stygian shit show Spectacular, and he may just be Hades, or a scurvy pirate, or a lot more. Each episode I bring to you radically expressive, radically inclusive geniuses like James. His style is creepy, scary, vile, yet somehow the most beautiful, amazing thing you'll ever see. His creations will draw you into the moment, command your attention, and make you feel like you're actually living in an underworld where tormented creatures reside and demons lurk. It's so immersive because James literally builds massive sets, like fortresses and ships, often single-handedly, that he can climb on and be a part of. While on these sets, the attention to detail will blow your mind, as every nook and cranny will have some other fear-invoking art, bloodstain, or severely mutilated doll hanging out in a corner. Plus, you'll choreograph non-stop entertainment that'll include strip shows, jelly wrestling, fire, and metal. James was inspired to go big by some American greats. He was part of creating a floating stage at Symbiosis Festival in the USA, which even featured in Playboy at the time. He got to build this as part of a team that fate brought him into called Drift. The mob built mind-boggling sets at events around the US, including some for Halloween, where James's talents really came to the fore. While researching this show, I was blown away to discover that James has also published a book on Amazon about traveling through a country at war with itself. This guy knows how to be fun and freaky. Let's get into it. To get warmed up for the show, I'd love for you to join me in the Genius Ignition system. 100% of the time that people do it, they get something huge from this show for themselves personally. And it's simple, and it goes like this, and you can do it so long as you're not driving right now. So I just want you to put your hands together and give them a rub. Yeah, give those hands a rub. Really warm those things up. Warm your hands up, and in just a moment's time, at the end of the countdown, we're going to do a simultaneous clap and a declaration. 3, 2, 1... I touched a genius. Now, let's get on with the show.
Hello, James.
Hello, Joe.
Yay, welcome.
Thank you very much for the intro. That's cute. I like that.
Yeah, it's a bit cute. I can't help myself. I'm a bit cutesy like that. It was enjoyable. And it was enjoyable doing some research for this show, and literally the biggest and best surprise was discovering your book. I bought your book. I started reading your book. You can actually write really well. I haven't read any... what's that? I'm not very good at genres, but that's like adventure travel style book.
To be honest, it started out as just a travel blog. It's if you go back through my Facebook, I don't know, nearly 10 years ago, it's just a bunch of long-winded posts.
Yep.
And
just
then
put them together into a book.
Pretty much went home and then, so we did this big trip, got home, got on the Champex tablets to try to stop smoking, went a little bit crazy and just sat there and edited for, 4 months solid, and pumped out a thing.
I honestly, it was such a beautiful surprise because I just didn't know you to be a writing sort of person.
Oh, the way I talk talk like a pirate, and then all of a sudden I can get pretty eloquent.
Your voice, your style is in there. You've got your, satire, your dark perspectives, and some things are in there. And I haven't read any, it reads like a novel, even though it's based on your travel experiences, but it still reads like a fictional novel. There's some crazy shit going on there. The way that you describe everything is really fun. And I haven't read anything like that for a while, and I was really enjoying it. So absolute props, man. That was such a cool little surprise to find out.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So you're a chain smoker in the book, and we're just talking about smoking before we got on here as well. Just love the old darts, eh?
I did, simple pleasures. It's one of the few vices I've got left, and I just can't kick it.
And which vices have you relieved yourself of?
All the fun ones.
Go on.
We've all had our pasts.
Okay,
But this is the one that keeps on going, and we're cutting it out, doing the vape things. So more technological these days.
Yeah.
And I still can't stop smoking cigarettes.
Yeah. Shari and I got ourselves a vape for the house. Just a little one. I really do enjoy sharing a little vape with her.
Oh yeah,
I've always been a serial drag scab, as you know. Every time I see you smoking a dart, I'm just borrowing darts. Still, I've never bought a packet, except for in Indonesia, just the clove ones, but they're a bit candy.
This is the last couple times I quit smoking. I went back to Asia and kind of treated myself.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, in my head it was like, I'm evening up the price for this 50-cent packet. It evens up the price of the $30 packet.
Yeah.
And I'm almost doing myself a service.
We're at like $2 a cigarette here, aren't we?
Oh yeah, at least now. Yeah, the last pack was like $45, $50.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Which is also the reason why, I can't be smoking rent.
Yeah. I bought nicotine just before it became made illegal in Australia. And I bought it from New Zealand, where everyone was, I guess, buying their nicotine from. And it was crazy cheap. I think it was like $30 for a bottle. And the bottle has enough nicotine to last me probably a decade or so.
Oh, yeah.
At the rate that I smoke it at, literally like a decade or so. It's just like so much.
I did the same thing. I got 2 liters worth of the strongest nicotine they had. So that's in the fridge or the freezer, one or the other. But yeah, that's enough to last me a good couple of years, chain smoking heavy.
What do you reckon of...
but still, like blueberry shortcakes, like this shit tastes a lot better than the Winnie Blues.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why I keep going back.
Your mouth doesn't smell bad. Nothing
like
else
steak
smells
and
bad.
potatoes.
It's tasty. What do you reckon of what's happened to nicotine in Australia, in the sense that, like, you can still buy the packet stuff, no questions, but you know it's been frowned upon. The smokers have been frowned upon in Australia for a while now. They all hang out of each other, and you either go to a party where everyone smokes or nobody smokes, roughly speaking. In Fremantle, it's more on the end that everyone smokes, and outside of Fremantle, it's more on the end where nobody smokes. But anyway,
pretty much, it's no longer the cool thing for the younger kids.
Yeah, but you can still buy legally tobacco that's got nicotine in it and smoke it as much as you want, and nobody can really say anything about it. And then that was the case for vapes. As vapes started up, you could buy nicotine and smoke it. It was in some grey territory.
Oh, but this is proven to kill you consistently in 100 different ways, but we make a lot of tax off it.
Yeah, for sure. But what I'm curious, like, because I find it really
fair. Like that $30 bottle of 1 liter of nicotine or whatever it is, that equals out to probably like 10 gram worth of nicotine tax you're getting.
It's insane.
Which it is.
It's insane. But what do you make of the approach that Australia has ended up going with, which is you can get the nicotine, but as a nicotine liquid for a vape, but you've got to go to a doctor and get a prescription.
That's dumb. I mean, let's be fair. If it's bad, if nicotine is bad, and like obviously the addictive part of it is bad, ban it. Ban all of it. No cigarettes. You're going to have a lot of unhappy people for about 6 months. Once that shit's out of their system, you got a nation of non-smokers. Granted, the black market, but still. If it's as dangerous as it is, ban it. Just ban it all.
Yeah.
Like, just no more.
Yep.
Problem solved.
Yep.
It'll be shit for a year, couple of years, but like by a generation, we'll be done.
No more smokers. It's not a problem anymore.
I mean,
we won't even know we had the problem.
Exactly.
Yep.
It'll be out of sight, out of mind. All the healthcare costs in theory that go along with it. In my head, I've always justified it by, well, I've already paid those taxes. I've already pre-bought that lung. Like,
you've just been putting down payments ever since you started.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So you've got a few limbs waiting for you, or a few organs, sorry, not limbs. You've got a few organs waiting for you.
When you start doing the math of like, how much I've spent over, like, I started smoking when I was like 15. Yeah, I've smoked a couple of mortgages worth. Let's call it that. I could have bought a couple of houses for the amount of cigarettes. And it's a dumb thing. Like, let's not do that. Like, I look at my nieces and nephews and it's like, let's not let them even know this shit exists. Yeah.
How old are your nieces and nephews?
Primary school. Let's call it like
primary school.
10, 8, and 3. Similar to that. Yeah, let's call it that.
I've become an uncle about a year.
Oh, are you doing
a year and a bit ago?
So you've gone through a birthday. What'd you do for the first birthday?
Well, I'm just a really bad uncle because my niece is
That's a fun bit.
My niece is in Sydney, and so pretty much since my niece has been born, there's been all kinds of lockdowns, and since the lockdowns have started to lift themselves. There's still lots of weird travel stuff going on, and as a result, I haven't
It's
really
a little too hard basket at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit too hard, too annoying, too just strange, the times that we're living in.
Yep.
So I have a niece, and she's been over to Perth, which is great. So I've caught up with her here, but other than that, I haven't actually got to see my niece very much. When she was born, I was playing a bit of piano. I'm terrible at it. But I recorded myself playing her a song and sent that over as like a present, because I was like, I'm not going to be able to see her for ages. Everything's locked down. I've never done this before, recording myself singing and playing a song. But I thought it was really like, I don't know, we got all this technology and weird ways to connect with each other today. So I was like, well, I might as well use that, and I can at least be a
That's a really sweet thing.
virtually
Like,
there.
when she's 18, like when it's bad, like those times, that's when you get the old, this is what my uncle gave me for the birthday. Like this is the embarrassing times.
It'll be so
cute.
weird. Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah.
But you are missing out the most important part of being the uncle. It's either like the load them full of sugar and send them back kind of deal.
Yeah.
Or when it's time for birthdays and Christmas, the loud, annoying presents.
Yeah.
I think this is the most fun I get out of it. Oh no, that's not true. They're cool. But so the first birthday that Lucas had, like the oldest boy, was a drum kit. Then when the next one came along, it was like the floor pianos, fart guns, fire engines, the noisy, loud presents. Like basically the toys that I want to play with. So I'll go over and like, you got to put the batteries back in, annoy the shit out of your brother and sister. The fun part's being the loud, annoying uncle. My sister-in-law, she keeps telling me she's got a list of all the things I've done. So as soon as when I have kids, she's like, well, all the paybacks are going to happen. But until then, I'm just going to keep loading onto them.
Yeah.
Good. Enjoy it.
Cool. Fun and easy stuff.
It's funny, like I think my brother's more creeped out by some of the weird shit that I make. The niece and nephew thing, you try to keep them away. Like once I started mutilating mannequins and cutting off arms and doing all sorts of stuff, like
they've got to withhold the kids' toys from you.
Oh yeah,
because you'll probably do something
the kids
crazy with it.
Didn't come around the house as much, but like as I've gotten older, like the 8-year-old, she's getting more into arts and crafts and stuff. So the last time we babysat over the house, I got him making clay masks. So it was like this unicorn ogre monstrosity. It was like fucked up looking. And the kids made it. It's like the more that they see the sculptures and stuff, the more they love it. Like the kids are accepting. Like if it's weird,
Yeah. They've got no issue with it.
They love it. It's like
no filters, no judgment yet. It's just
Exactly.
like, it's cool or it's not cool. Yeah.
the 40-year-old brother's got different ideas about it, but the kids love it.
So my first recollections of meeting you was in Blaze in 2019, where I was working with the temple crew, and we were building that Lotus temple, and you were just kicking around yourself. I think a lot of your tribe had not made it there yet, and you were being just a mad person building stuff, and you were gifting Niche of a demented version of the Lotus that you made out of I think you got a doll's head and you stuck that to a board, and then you got a whole bunch of limbs and you replicated the lotus flower using limbs sticking out of this board. So it was this like head in the ground with like 11 limbs poked up around it. And I remember when I first saw that, I was just like, this guy's fucking weird and this thing's crazy. But the very first thing that you did, I was already like, that's such a cool piece of art. And all that you'd done at that stage was just taken the head and the limbs and stuck that on. And it already made me feel gross and weird, but I was like, that's so cool. But then the next day you spray painted it. And then the following day you added like a layer of texture to it. And then the following day you added like something else to it. And the thing just like got so much more than I kind of ever expected. It was like every day you came and
that was my thing
tortured Niche a little bit with it.
Yeah, that was my thing to stop me drinking so much at the end of end of work stuff. Like, because there is that opportunity. But like, that was my little out. I like that.
Yeah.
Because I brought a whole bunch of arts and crafts stuff and didn't want to make anything of my own. I thought
you
that
were just making stuff there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my little arts and crafts time.
Scaring people.
I think because I got into a routine before that, because obviously that was that was the first time I'd done the theme camp, and leading up to that, it was just manic. Every night, I'd come home from work and just smash out 7 hours worth of making weird shit.
Building things.
Oh God, I got to fucking make all this decor shit. And then as soon as we got to site, I was like, oh, what are we doing at night?
Yep.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to make you a weird thing.
Yep. How long have you been making weird things for?
Not much more before that. I think after you said like we're doing the drift stuff, that's when I first thought about doing like any of the festivals or like large scale arts and crafts. I think before that, most of it was just Warhammer.
Oh, cool. Yep.
Yeah, I think so. That's where it started, but that was late in life. I think that was 25, 26.
When you started Warhammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
So I had a bunch of friends that would like.
How did this happen? Yeah.
Yeah, so I had a bunch of friends that like once a month they would all hang out, play Warhammer, get on the piss, have this big like games day. And because I didn't play any of the games, I was like a little bit left out. So went to a couple of them, didn't understand the game itself. Like it's all the different rules and the dice, and it's like that shit's not my bag. But got really into
Painting.
like the paint. Like,
Yeah.
I thought they all looked cool. Like the
Yeah.
orcs and the fucking Chaos Marines have all got, I don't know, horn spikes. They all look pretty fucking metal. And I liked them. So I bought a pack. I thought I'm just going to buy one pack.
You got the plastic ones or the lead ones?
The plastic ones.
Yep.
And then painted them. Liked it. Oh, it was only like eight figures. I knocked that out in like less than a week. I was like, oh, what am I going to do now? So I started buying more. And then I bought more. And then more and more.
Have
and
you
more.
still got your Warhammer
Oh,
collection?
fuck, not much. I sold most of it when I went to Canada. Still got some of it. Still got the expensive bits. Yeah, so this is funny. All right, so that's the first arts and crafts. Like before that, I was all just plumbing, go to work, be a tradie, fucking whatevs. So
you're always using your hands, and then Warhammer's very fine motor skills using your hands.
Yeah, I'd just sit there and like watch science documentaries and sit there and paint in bed, more or less. So I ended up with I don't know, a full army's worth, which was like don't get Warhammer. It's plastic crack. I spent like $4,000 on fucking little plastic figurines for no reason. Paint them all up. Really enjoyed that bit. Put myself into they do armies on parade at the stores, like the painting competition. Like bring your stuff in and see who's best. And so the first time I won gold. I got this little gold medallion. It's like, oh, fucking, you're cool. So it's like, rad. That's the orc army done. Like, I've done as much as I can with that. So I started another army. Mm-hmm. Did the same thing. Dumped about $4,000 or $5,000 into little tiny plastic figurines. Went to the thing. Came second. Got a silver. I was like, fuck this. I'm out. And just walked away. So I don't know how to play the game. I don't know. The backstories are pretty cool. It's just big, long-winded sci-fi books. But yeah, because I didn't win, I walked away.
Yeah.
I don't understand the game, couldn't play the game. We couldn't sit here and play the game. But give me the tiny little figurines and I'll paint the shit out of it.
Paint them. So you did a bit of Warhammer, and then a series of mythically cool events sent you somehow to America, where all of a sudden you're hanging out with this crew called Drift, who are
the story of how
you got there.
that should happen. That's a fun story.
Yeah, cool. Let's do it.
So I'd planned to share the COVID. So I'd planned to go to Canada. So I was getting close to 30, and wanted to go see Canada, do the 2-year visa stuff, and like I was getting too old to go. So I got my visa at 30 and was about to fly off in like November. My birthday's in October, so I was like, I don't want to spend my birthday in Perth, because I hadn't for like 10 years before that. I'd always go overseas. So I was like, I'm just gonna book a trip to Cambodia, hang out with elephants. That's all I want to do, just hang out with elephants. So I found this elephant sanctuary, spent a good few weeks up there just watching elephants, gardening, like planting trees, chopping down banana trees, washing an elephant. It was a great little cycle. So
I haven't spent hardly any time in my life with an elephant. Can you tell me about the characteristics of an elephant? Like, what are they like?
The adults are cool. The adults are real nice and docile. They'll sit there and like they'll let you pat them. You can kind of do whatever you want to them. Like especially the rescues, they're all been abused, they're all a bit fucked up, and they're just happy to be in a nice place. That's what it seems. So they'll just plod along, look at stuff, and just be all majestic. Like the eyes are, I don't know, man, there's something about elephant's eyes that fucking rad. The babies, not so much. Like if you continue that book, you'll hear the story of how I nearly got killed by a baby elephant. Yeah, the babies are a bit temperamental and a bit dickish, but the adults, rad.
Yep.
So I did that. So I was riding a motorbike around Cambodia. I just rented a bike, picked a direction for a while, hit the sanctuary, and then picked a direction. I think I was going down Mekong River somewhere, and I spotted the first white dude I'd seen in a long time. So I pulled the bike over, stopped in this shitty little restaurant, got chatty. I'm pretty sure he was there for sex tourism. He was just like, you're an old pedophile. But he pointed me a direction of this hostel in this town that his buddy knew, and was like, I had nothing else to do, so I just followed the direction. Ended up on like the Vietnam border in this tiny little town that I can't remember the name of. His hostel was booked. They pointed me to this French couple that ran a little stick hut village kind of hostel, which is literally just a stick hut, like pretty ghetto. And I was the only guest. So it was cool. So had this little place, hung out there for a couple of days, just drinking at the bar. I was like, I was leaving the next day, so I was like, I'm just going to go to bed. And this tour group walked through, covered in mud, piss and shit. They'd been hanging out in the jungle, climbing through rivers and stuff. And there was this American girl. And then we got chatty for about 3 hours, became like best friends. And I was like, I'm out. Drove back to the capital and bowed out and exchanged details and whatnot. So we became friends. And then I flew off to Canada, lived there for about a year and a half, which was sweet. They weren't renewing my visa, so I was like, what the fuck am I going to do now?
Where in Canada were you?
I spent like 6 months in Thunder Bay, which is basically Mandurah if Perth didn't exist. It's the
which coast or where?
Thunder Bay is like right in the middle on Lake Superior. Per capita, it's the rape and murder capital
Of Canada.
So it's...
you know how to pick the spots, James.
Fuck yeah, it's a little bit classy. And then buggered off to Banff, and as most Australians do, hung out in the mountains. I was the maintenance manager of 2 hotels, the 2 worst rated hotels in Banff. Super ghetto. But I just basically YouTubed my day and just hung out in the snow. It was fucking rad. Climbed mountains and saw shit, and that was good. Anyway, so Tanya's like, you can build things. Come help my friends build a thing. Like, I'd never want to go to the States. I always wanted to do like Mexico and Canada and like skip the middle bit out. Yeah. I was like, fuck, I got nothing else to do. Came on down and didn't know what I was getting myself into. And ended up hanging out in a dude's backyard for about 2 months, making a thing. Didn't see the Golden Gate Bridge. Didn't see any of California apart from old mate's backyard. And then did the Big Dumb Festival. Yeah. Which was, the floating island, which was rad. I think it's just been a case of chasing the dragon of that, because that was the biggest, dumbest thing I've been a part of.
I got to chat with Tanya in preparation for this episode. Thanks for the hookup with Tanya. She's wicked.
Rad.
And she so just loved reminiscing about the work that you guys all did together for that drift project, and the kind of like life-changing experience it was for her, and she says for you and for the whole crew to be able to be like building these crazy projects in all kinds of crazy festivals all over America. I guess they've got a lot of populace there. They have a shit ton of festivals as well. She spoke extremely highly of Symbiosis, so that it was like just a phenomenal place to be hanging out.
Yeah.
And
it really was.
And then also said that the work that you guys did at Symbiosis, the organizers thought that you guys were just putting together like a floating art installation, not actually like a place to party in itself as well. So it just became this like floating party island.
Oh yeah, that's like we could never do that here. So for context, it was like they thought it was going to be a nothing item, just a little thing out on the side, but it became like a 30 meter by 20 meter platform with a 20 something meter tall lighthouse with a spinning little light on the top, water slides on one side, a bar on another side, and water guns off the wings. And all floating in the middle of the water. So a giant floating island with a DJ up the top of the lighthouse, a little raft that had to go back and forwards. But they definitely didn't anticipate what we were doing. I'm sure there was a very heavy lack of communication. We had no radios. There was no lifeguard. Like, we had people swimming out, like super drunk. holy shit, there was times when the whole raft was like nearly tipping over because we had like 400, 500 people on this tiny floaty thing.
It was just floating in drums or?
I don't know, styrofoam.
Styrofoam.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So just
Like,
cubic meters of foam sitting on the
Yeah, like it would never sink. It might roll over, but it would never sink.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had no radios. We had no... people could have died.
You're just a bunch of crazy scurvy pirates who built an amazing
Legit.
floating-
Like after that one, it was like, oh shit, people get paid to do this kind of stuff? Like,
Yeah.
none of us... Well, not that we had no right to be doing this kind of thing, but there was a tree planter, a tree lopper, an electrician, a carpenter, some dude that owned a weed farm, and me being just a dumb tourist. It's like none of us had engineering. There was no... It worked.
Mm-hmm.
And it fucking worked.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful thing. But yeah, none of us should have done that.
Just got building and designing crazily.
Yeah.
And so it was just a backyard operation as well.
Absolutely backyard operation. We built it out of another friend's backyard in Pacifica, which is a cute little tiny town. The first time it all came together was on the water. Like,
Had you been to events like that before? Like, was that your first time?
Like that was the first like sort of dance music or electronic music festival that I'd been to.
But also a festival that's got like such ridiculous art at it, like large scale art, like like a Burning Man style festival.
Absolutely.
Had you seen stuff like that? Had you?
Pretty much, yeah. I'd always looked at it and was like, dirty hippies.
Yeah.
Like, I come from like a punk rock metal background. So like I'd been to Download Festival, I'd been to Hellfest, been to a couple like the big European festivals, which is wild. They do some really cool shit over there. But like that was the first that had, I can't remember what they had. There's a lot of ex-burners had their artwork stuff there, and it was just big, wild and fun. Everyone been happy. So it wasn't just battle jackets and fucking Slayer and whatnot. It was a bunch of fun hippies.
Yep, I don't know much about Download and Hellfest. Do they also have people making heaps of crazy shit, or is it like
it's like 150, 200,000 people festivals?
Yeah,
it's
okay,
like
pretty mental,
massive, big, dumb things.
Yeah, yeah. But
not like that. There was no like the general public couldn't come in and do it. It was like large production companies and large international touring companies. There was no backyard people.
Yeah,
like, unless you were the big company, then you didn't get a look in.
Less, I guess those kinds of festivals are just like much more immersive because the smaller ones. Because everybody's a lot more people are participating in the creation of it, and you got more people bringing that in as opposed to those big festivals where it's just like
it's just corporate. That's looking back at it, it was just big style corporate, but it's what the people wanted. It's what people like. We've done a survey. It's what they want. Kind of soulless to an extent, but the bands are great.
Yeah,
I think which is the difference for a lot of electronic, the EDM sort of festivals. Like I look at the lineup and it's like I know none of these things.
Yep.
But there's all that cool shit over there I want to have a look at.
Yeah.
I think that's what kind of draws me back to it.
Yeah, and so you just got the had something open up or got some kind of bug after that moment on where you're just like, I want to do way more of this stuff. And you got to go on a little foray all around America doing more and more of those kinds of things.
That changed everything. What was meant to be not even going there ended up being nearly 3 years living in and out of it. But yeah, just sort of working illegally. I'd do my little visa tour for 3 months, go back down to Central America, hang out for 6 months, come back when the next season starts. And yeah, it was a really fun few years, to be honest.
Yeah, in terms of working illegally, I heard that on one of your trips back to America, they were like, nah.
They caught me out.
Yeah.
So after one of the Halloween shows, I know which one it was, I stayed back an extra couple of days to help pack down. And that put me over by 1 day on my visa.
1 day?
1 day. And then, so I left, came back. And then on the last time, they were like, wait a second, you've been here a couple of times. What's going on? And so I sat in a cell for 12 hours and then they deported me.
Yeah.
Which is,
as Tanya tells the story, that's flying over from Australia, right?
Mm-hmm.
You flew over from Australia and then spent 12 hours in a cell and then flew back.
Turned all the way back.
And that was just before that the Drift crew were going to put together another festival and a big one as well.
Oh, we had like 4 shows lined up.
Yep.
That was the one I wanted. Instead, came home and had my little tantrum of like, if I can't do that over there, I'm going to make my own.
Yeah.
And then started building things.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that you've just got a warehouse recently. So the warehouse, congratulations on securing a warehouse. That's really
Thanks.
cool. The warehouse is to consolidate all of your things in some ways and to create space to create more things.
At least finally get all my stuff in one place and then make more stuff.
How much like stuff do you have? Like a sea container or like
it'll fill a couple of sea cans.
A couple of sea cans.
So the last time it was properly packed down and like ready for transport. It like head height, flat packed, took up 98 square meters. And that's, taller than me. And then since then I've made more.
Yeah.
So
have you got stuff at Fringe Adelaide at the moment as well?
No. All the stuff's just Perth.
You had to go up to Fringe somewhere north. Is that what you were saying? Have you just come from Fringe Festival today?
So Joondalup Festival has rented one of their circus tents.
Okay.
Just doing...
you own a circus tent as well?
No, God, no.
Oh.
Nah, this one's a monster and illogically made. But just pulling it up, packing it down.
Cool.
Just being helpful.
Yeah, because you had some of your decor at Perth Fringe this year. So it's a second year for that?
Yep. So
how's that?
It was fun. It was nice to have it out in a different context than what it normally does.
Yeah. No dead babies strewn over things.
I in the contract was no gore, no skeletons, no dead things. And I abided by that. I wanted to hide.
Surely they'd want to have a creepy corner at Fringe somewhere. I think people would froth on that.
I mean, that's little, kind of in the name.
Little secret creepy corner.
Yeah, this is I asked them last year if I could do like the shit show at there, and I was like, I don't think it's really our vibe. But like, I don't know, in the name, like if it's not a little bit out of center, then it's not really on the fringe, is it?
Yeah, you got to be fringy, otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, otherwise it's same. But they denied me doing the big show, but they let me build them a bar last year. And so this time around, I got.
What do you mean by the big show? When you say the shit show, do you mean like what you did at the warehouse?
Oh yeah.
So
I wanted to do that.
What did you want to do at Fringe? Like a 6-hour show?
You'd cut it down. Well, yeah, realistically a 6-hour show, but broken down into maybe 1 hour increments. So you let a few people in, see the dumb thing, then they leave, and then a very much more refined version.
Yeah.
Like realistically, we could do a week run of shows, and just with the different performers that we had, you could do a different show every day. Realistically,
yeah,
I think.
Sure. I mean, the content that was together in that one event was ridiculous. Like,
so yeah, like I wanted to build the pirate ship and the castle, and just have that sitting there, and then would come in and do an hour show, and then for the rest of it, I don't know, people can hang around and like look at it or sit in the tables or something. But like, I just wanted the big thing, and then they offered me a spot in a bar. I was like, that defeats the purpose. I want to build the big dumb thing. And you can't do that in a back room of a bar.
Yeah.
Now I want to build a big venue. Because that's what I got. I got a whole bunch of decor and panels and walls.
At a festival or as part of your own thing? Or
and if they don't want to do it, then I'll do it myself.
Yeah, cool. Cool. Where would you have it?
Depends on who will let me be in there. And as long as we can be as gory and as messy as we want.
Yeah.
And it's a dirty, messy show. Yeah.
I understand that there's a lot of farmers around Australia who want to lease out their lands for campers and a whole bunch of other things. So I imagine, like, I guess similar to Blaze and other festivals, it wouldn't be too hard to find a farmer somewhere who'd be like, sure, you want to bring 500 people down here, 1,000 people down here for a weekend to do some crazy things, just don't touch my cattle and everything will be sweet.
As long as I can raid his dead pit, then... Yeah, I mean, realistically, why not? I don't know why I haven't pushed that. I mean, we've got enough friends in the community that have access to that kind of thing, and I think it's probably...
What's the thing that if someone was to be able to help you out on and do for you, might be able to make that easier? Like what's...
As an admin person or the person that can actually make phone calls and talk to people.
Which people do you need to talk with? Because some people you're really good at talking to, and then some people... So who would you like someone to talk to for you?
Grants. Man, grants would be
Grants.
nice. Like paying this shit, using my own money to do all this. It's fun because you have creative control because it's all my own fault. But I'm poor as well.
But so to get some cash flow to like come in from a grant somewhere else, so that at least there's like that.
Oh yeah, if someone else paid for this, then yeah, we can go wild.
Yeah.
The Mega Rang and 2 Minute Noodles don't buy itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Realistically, it's probably just a few conversations away. Yeah, I think I'm my own worst enemy in this. Like, I get very manic and focused on one thing, and then I'll go do that really, really well, and then blindside everything else. Yeah, I need a babysitter. I think that's what it comes down to. I need a babysitter.
Yeah, I don't think you want a babysitter though.
Nah, not really.
That's not going to happen. But you might be able to find someone who just wants to jump in and do that part of the work for you.
Yeah.
That's
the ideal.
That's better
Yeah.
than a babysitter.
The bits that I hate, someone else can do, and like if they enjoy the bits that I hate, then that would be ideal.
Yeah. Some people are good at some things. So
Yeah, I'm good with a drill and like making horrible things.
yeah. I can do stuff tradie wise, and most things I can do, but at a very slow PG level. And helping you and your team pull apart the Stygian shit show, just watching like how fucking fast you moved. Like I think I would literally get like 2 screws out of the cladding undone, and you'd get like 20 and put the panel down, and I'd be like, I just literally just moved 2 screws. It's you move at some pace.
It's theoretically that wasn't a slow dismantle, but you should like if you because we did the Friday the 13th, so obviously we did the big fun party.
At Rechabite.
Yeah, so we did a couple of shows at the Rechabite with a few friends. The pack down on that was exceptionally quick.
Yeah,
like we were out truck packed in like less than an hour. Yeah, sometimes it's a really fine oiled machine. Like if people like, I was just running around with the drill, dismantling 2 stages, dancing cages, all the decor, just and people put it in the truck. It was really, really, really nice not to do it by myself. Yeah.
Would you ever do like a? I guess your shows are like this anyway, because your shows are an exhibition of all of your stuff, because all of your stuff is everywhere. But would you ever think about just like straight-faced renting a art gallery and just like hanging your shit up all over the walls?
I have thought of it. Like I've got a lot of stuff that hasn't been out at any shows and hasn't really been out of the house because there's no reason for it to have been yet. So some like the latest mannequins are all in like pretty gold picture frames, and it's all just guts and shit hanging out. And they've only kind of just sat in the house. I would like to rent a art gallery and even just deck out the walls, put all the horrible things in and see what happens. Like why not? Like realistically, with all the other shows that we've done, it's everyone else actually makes it. Like I can provide the walls and the decor, but I don't want to get up on stage. So unless other people really want to jump in and do the thing, then we're just going to sit there and like look at a dark room with just me sitting in the corner just drinking beer.
Yeah, so you like to create the space and give people a alternative reality to party in and to play with. But then you're kind of working with other people to then come in and use the space, play with it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like I'll build the thing and then I want to sit back and like just entertain me.
Sit on your throne.
Yeah, kind of.
Yep. Yeah.
Because I suppose like I've just been, I don't know if it's apathy or just the way my head is, like I'm just bored of things. Like there's so many shows like, I'm just uninterested by things. Like I just want to be entertained. I think it's probably a similar case for a lot of people. Like if you've been overseas and seen the big giant productions, or not that I've been to Burning Man, but if you've been to that, you've seen the big dumb wild things. It kind of puts not your expectations, but your knowledgeable limits higher. Like if you've never seen a thing before, then you don't know what you're missing. But if you've seen the thing, then it's like, it's not that. Like it's good, but it's not. It could be better. I just want to be entertained. and like I wasn't finding that at any other show. So I was like, oh, fuck it, we'll do our own.
Yep.
If I'm not entertained, then I assume other people are bored.
Yourself.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
It's a really expensive way to entertain yourself, but I mean, no one else is going to do it. Like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, for sure. It's nuts. Like when it comes to being entertained, sometimes it's really hard to say what it is that's actually the point of difference that makes it so good. Because you can go and watch performances, and you can go and watch a performer do a thing, and the performer can be like the most skilled person at doing backflips ever, and they can do a backflip and it can be thoroughly unentertaining. And then you can have someone who's like barely able to do a backflip who can do it, and it can be extremely entertaining.
Oh yeah.
Which is like weird because it's like there's this performance-y bit underneath that. And like, so, you know, like with a lot of your sets, you know, you build these really big things, and if it was just a ship, it would be relatively entertaining. But if it's a ship that's got all the little details that you've put in there, then it's like really entertaining. I guess that might be the difference. I don't actually know. I'm just trying to work out what's the difference that holds attention in, because you're right. We've seen the big thing, and once you've seen the big thing, it's kind of like, well, how's anything ever going to be good again after I've seen the biggest, best thing? But it is, which is beautiful. It's beautiful that you don't have to keep going back to the.
Like technical brilliance and soul. If it's technically brilliant and soulless, then meh. But if it's kind of half-assed but shits and giggles and like that made me laugh, then that trumps. That wins.
Yeah, we got to like somehow put soul into everything.
Kinda. Otherwise, I'll sit home and play video games instead.
Yeah, which someone's put a lot of soul into on those good video games. Someone's put some serious soul into that, and that thing's that's the creepy thing is with stuff like that medium is it's really scalable. So somebody creates one crazy creative thing once, and then heaps of people can have access to it. Like,
no, I'll pay
physical
that.
world is more challenging for that.
Well, that's it. I mean, because you have your own limitations. Like I don't know, I've been nerding out for the last week. I got a Horizon Forbidden West. Basically, you're like this little jungle girl that's gone around like saving the world and killing machine monsters, and like visually, it's beautiful. Visually, highly dynamic, and the story actually works. There's enough characters and whatnot. It's not the most technically brilliant game, but like, there's heart and soul in it. You can. It's entertained me for about the last 60 hours. Let's be fair. I've dumped enough time into it now. Nearly at the end of it. I can move on to something else now. But it's it'd be if this was, I don't know, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, it would be a novel this thick. But we don't have the attention span. I think that's what probably it comes down for myself. Attention span. I will struggle to read a 3-inch thick book, but I'll sit there and I'll dump 100 hours into a video game or similar. But
it holds your attention. It's
anything that can do that wins.
Yeah, it holds your attention.
Which is, I think, is what I wanted for when we did Shit Show. I wanted sensory overload. Because I've been to enough gigs where it's just DJ on a table, or there's a band on the stage. Okay, cool. What else? My whole plan for the whole thing was the original plan was I wanted like 3 or 4 stages around a warehouse room, which is illogical. But if you were watching the main stage and watching what was going on over here, you missed the whole show because there was all that, and then there was that, and then like in my head, what I wanted was for people to go home and then talk to their friends about
and be at like totally different shows.
Yeah, you all saw the same thing, but like entirely different. Because if someone's perspective was over this way, then they saw the Shibari, and then like I don't know, like an Ozak doing a bloody fruit and veg show. But if you were over there in the rave cave just doing the ravey thing, like that's cool. That's what you wanted. You wanted.
It's kind of like everything's commanding your attention in different places.
Yeah, overload. Like you could go back and see the same show 3 times and like have a completely different experience.
Yeah.
So it's choose your own adventure book.
Yeah. But I guess with like an attention overload thing like that, like if somebody goes into it and ends up just having their attention just darting around the whole time, they probably actually will leave with an okay experience. But if they can actually go in and give attention to something while everything else is commanding their attention as well, or there's all kinds of things going on, then they can actually have a ridiculous choose your own adventure thing, because everywhere that they go, they can actually just like follow it into a whole nother freaking trip.
Yeah, I mean, it's their fault if they don't have ADHD and like, I want that.
Yeah.
Now that. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's, let's be fair. It's my own brain's fault for it. I want that now, and then that, and then that.
Yeah. Where did all the like creepy things come from? Like what books or movies did you?
That? Oh man, this is a lifetime of like heavy metal, death metal, and horror movies. I think from before.
I think I probably watched like 5 horror movies in my life, if that.
Yeah.
I think I watched like The Exorcist when I was like 16 or something like that, and a few other ones. I've watched almost no gore. Like I probably watched like 2 gory movies ever, and I was just like, I can stomach it, but I was like, I just don't know. I just didn't know why I would do it again.
Yeah,
I was like,
it gets to a point where it becomes comedy. So growing up, it was a lot of horror movies, and then I think I hurt myself doing. Well, I assume most people did in the early days of the internet. Just looking at the darkest, horrible things on the internet. And when you're like, I don't know, like year 9, year 10, like you should not be watching like Mexican cartel beheading videos and giggling at it, and like Ogreish and like rotten.com and shit. That was
the differences that
horrible parts.
That the
desensitized.
Yeah, the differences that the world's our smartphones have, and our Facebooks. I know Facebook is, for me, it's become such a boring platform. But I can still see how radically different everyone else's platforms are to my platform.
Yeah.
And I had some mates who are plumber mates, and the content that was turning up on his Facebook profile was just fucking blowing my mind. I didn't think any of that was allowed anywhere near Facebook in any way. There was like, what are you talking about? Like literally right there on his newsfeed, there was like beheadings, and there was like people chopping each other up, and like torture scenes. And I was like,
yeah, I got a couple of friends that send me weird things, but you can't show a nipple. Right? Nips are bad, but like watching some girl get her arms and legs cut off, and then
but it's almost like some content can appear in some bubbles where, if that whole community of people who are subscribing to that content don't actually care about it, then the algorithm also is just like, well,
no one reports it, so it must be cool.
They don't really care. I know they've got AI things that are, well, I hear that they've got AI things that are looking at things. I imagine that that's the case, that they do. But maybe even the AI thing's just like, those people don't mind, right? Like they don't mind watching the beheadings and whatnot. It doesn't seem to affect them in any kind of negative way, and they all like froth on it, and it keeps them on the platform as well. It holds their ADHD right there. They just keep scrolling and looking at more crazy, gory things.
It's fucked up.
Right? Yeah, it's just
real fucked
you
up.
You don't type anything. You just scroll, and it just knows what you want to look at next. It's just like, did you want more of this? Here it is. Here it is. We'll just dig it out from the infiniteness of the online universe.
But no nibs.
Yeah.
As a kid, I shouldn't have looked at that stuff. But it kind of fed in with that.
Some woke lines get put down in the ground really hard, like really, really hard, and then actually, I don't even know if that's a woke line. Some lines get put down really hard, and then once that line is down, it's just like to undo it is an impossibility.
Shenanigans. But so there was all that, and like just listened to way too much.
Okay, so I didn't go
metal.
into creepy things on the internet when I was young. I was too full of shame.
Bless your little heart.
Yeah. Too much Christianity pounded into me. I wasn't looking at much stuff, and if I did, then I told myself off for a good couple of weeks.
Oh, good, because it's a total sin. You should no one needs that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the way I started making like arts and crafts, basically like I started building because drift was very much let's be fair, most of mine is heavily inspired by the way that they were doing there. It's like if you look at the stuff that they were making, like I've kind of done a very similar thing, but without the California surfy vibe. Like a lot of theirs was very much like driftwood, surf, whatnot. So I started making all the wood panels. I sat there in the back of rented space out of the nest and started making all the wood panels. I knew similar what I wanted. I wanted walls to make a structure. And then I realized, shit, I got to decorate this thing. Like, fuck, what do you do? I don't know how to decorate. What am I going to do? So I was talking to a couple of friends, and one of their sisters had too many kids with too many husbands, and had this
Their trip, their problem.
Yeah, theirs, not mine, thankfully. But they had this giant bag of like dolls and toys, kids' toys. There was probably, I don't know, a bag of like 200 dolls, and I got given it. And I was like, all right, fuck it. This is what we're making. And started.
That's kind of creepy enough, even before you've done anything to it. Just the thought of a giant bag of 200, like a giant bag with 200 dolls, just all like piled in on top of each other.
Oh yeah, there's nightmare fuel all through it. Like really, I didn't have to do much to make them worse. There was a lot of them that the facial expressions are fucked up. The ones that were missing arms, and they would, like, you pull a string out the back and they'll just wave like this dead-eyed thing waving at you. It's like why would you buy your
Dolls
kids
are
this
creepy.
stuff? There's no reason to give your kids this. Like, don't do that. You're just instilling trauma.
There's got to be like some cutoff point where, like, when you're making dolls, it's just like, if you try too hard to make it realistic, it gets really
Nightmares.
creepy. But if it's a thing that's got button eyes and it's, knitted together,
cutesy, cartoony, like anime looking things. Yeah, you can get away with that.
It's got limbs. You can tell it's meant to reflect a human. That's kind of cool. And then when we get too realistic on it, it's just like,
yeah,
creepy, trippy. Even once they get really good, it's still
let's be fair. A lot of them were horrifying looking before I started cutting their faces off and like giving them extra arms and stuff. Like, I segued a little bit more terror gore related, but they were nightmare fuels. Let's be fair, I am very glad that my arts and crafts have expanded past the dolls, and I will never go back to them, I don't think. There was a solid period of time that I would just look at myself surrounded by like bits and parts, and it's like, what the fuck? This is a red flag. Like, what are you doing dismembering dolls? It's like, it's for arts. And I've progressed past that. I've moved past that.
Mannequins now.
I'm just jamming animal bones into mannequins.
Just full size dolls. You've just gone to human sized creations instead.
Yeah, no. When you say it out loud, it is a red flag. Yeah.
So you got this little gift of a bag of dolls, and that inspired the creative.
Yeah, that really did set the theme and the decor.
Yeah.
Because like, let's be fair, if I had boys and surfboards and like anything else, like the whole theme of the thing would have been completely different.
So you might have wound up with a surfer style bar if you.
Oh shit! Can you imagine a little tiki bar and like?
No, I can't really imagine you.
No,
off
it doesn't work.
Now.
No, if you if I look back and join the dots of like death metal, punk rock, make a bar. What are you gonna fill full of? Fucking black metal, death metal fun times.
Would you ever want to make a movie set?
Yeah. I've helped out a couple buds.
You've done some movie sets.
Not movie, like music video.
Cool. Perth bands.
So there's this dude Emil Smith, who makes really rad stuff. So I've helped him out on a couple of things. So a couple of thrones that I've made has been into that, and I've helped him like do set decor, just helping out. Like, we're meant to do bigger stuff. He keeps asking me to do bigger stuff, and I don't know, I've got a phobia of phones to an extent, so I don't reach out as much as I should. But why not? Yeah, like, as opposed to having like as much as a big production that the shit show was, it was a one night item. Like, I spent like 3 months manically building stuff, 12 hours a day for a 1 day show. If you put it on film, then it's a thing forever. It's not just the 30 photos that I have. You've got a production length. Like, why not? Should I say yes? Yeah, why not?
But just to backpedal on the. Yeah, I'm hearing what you're saying with the transitoriness of
it's a lot of work for a one-time thing.
Yeah, but that's kind of all festivals in some regard are like that, and that's probably what's so beautiful about them. It's just like, you were there or you weren't there, and that's that's a big thing.
There's very much a beauty in the temporary.
For sure. And the burn leans right into that, because the burn often takes the thing that's the biggest structure of it all. That was, probably one of the hardest things to build each year is, the effigy and the temple. And then they torch those things, right? Like,
it's an amazing feeling. You did Nisha's temple.
Yeah.
And, I was a part of this dude, Jack, the year before. Like, we made the Southern Hemisphere's second biggest sundial.
Yeah, yep.
Which is ungodly. Why would you not? I think it was like 40 meters long and like 20 something meters in the air. I think it was beaten by a stone sundial in India. Yeah, that sounds about right. So we made the second biggest one, dumped a whole lot of time into it, made this big pretty thing, and stood back and set it on fire and had a big dumb grin on our faces. It was that was an amazing time. I would highly recommend anyone to build a big dumb thing and set it on fire.
Yeah,
it's something really cathartic about
the kind of the more blood, sweat, and tears that you put into making the big dumb thing, and actually of like being. I'm not sure proud's the right word, but I'll go with it. But being proud of the big dumb thing and then setting it on fire, that's even better.
Yeah,
right.
It's also a very humbling point, because like you sort of sit back and realize. Like, you don't have to be so anal about things. I think one of the main memories I have of Jack's temple was me and his buddy John. It was like the last night before like gates open. So the sundial had that dome on the legs as the bottom centerpiece, and where all the timber joined the center column. There was all these metal brackets that held all the ledges and all the rafters up. And I didn't like them because everything was like this big wooden structure, and then in the center there was all this like bright shiny metal. I was like, oh, that's gross. So I sat there and I tried to make this. I don't know. It was like a 12-sided. I don't know, whatever. Not dodecahedron or whatever. Anyway, 12-sided shape to slide over the metal, so disappear it and put a shroud over the whole thing. Fucked it up, made it again, didn't do it right, made it again, didn't do it right, made it again. And the last time, I think like the fifth time I tried to make this shape, put it on, it kind of worked, but there was like a 15 millimeter difference. Like, it didn't completely join up. And I was like, no one's going to fucking notice. No one noticed at all. No one, it's like the dumb tiny detail, no one noticed.
Oh, so you kept your thing on there that didn't add the...
Oh, yeah. I every time I walked past, it was like, not quite. But no one...
Oh, we're our own harshest critics.
Yeah, no one
sure.
looked up.
Like, we're our own harshest critics on everything that we make. And I guess like there's an annoying thing in creating anything there. Being creative is you're your own harshest critic always. Nobody else really cares, because everybody else is just going to like come in and out of the thing and not really pay any attention. But you're in there far more than anyone else. So like all the attention to the little details is usually for yourself, right? Like I'm a weird OCD person with some strange little things at my house, right? But I live in my house, right? Like you wouldn't give a shit when you came over whether the thing was exactly right or not, because you'd just be coming around for some dinner, you'd have some beers and you'd leave. And, the thing that I've been obsessed by about, a few mils off on this thing that I walk into the house and it shines out at me as it's like
not even a register.
Wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not even in the eyes.
Yeah.
I think this is where it's like it's been not still, but like brought into mind is like, if it looks good, it's correct. If it looks shit, it's wrong. And as a very broad general statement, that works, because you don't need to dump in 8 hours worth of time from like till 4 o'clock in the morning pissing about with a tiny little thing that no one's going to notice, because it's the same as if you didn't do it. Like, it's perfectly fine. 80% of a complete item is way better than 100% of an unfinished item.
Oh man, for sure. It's got to get done. That's like the
finish line, not a finish time.
Yeah, there's the perfectionist problem there where you just like never actually get anything done.
Oh, everything's crap. Like there's very rare moments of any of the stuff that I've made that I've sat back and it's like, I love this. I think this is great. Like, most of it, like, I can nitpick, and I don't know. I don't like a lot of the stuff that I've made, but other people seem to enjoy it, and kind of close enough at this point. Like, I don't know if it's like because I do the clinical depression stuff, so I've had my sad times and whatnot, but I know I'm not going to be exceptionally happy about the stuff that I make. But if it entertains other people, that's kind of a win in its own book. Like, I might not feel it, but if they get like, yeah, that's the best shit, then cool, that's giving the happiness to someone else. Which is, fuck it, close enough.
Yeah. You definitely create things that blow people's minds, and that's, I guess that's
which is
easy
weird
enough to
because
observe.
if I sit back and it's like I'm so apathetic about things, I don't know if it's something desensitized because you made the thing and you look at it all the time, it just doesn't register. And like, yeah, it was really nice to see people go, what the fuck is this? This is amazing. That's it's cool. I don't feel it, but I'm glad that other people do.
But you keep also producing content and making stuff. I think I heard you say that, most of the things that you make you don't like, but every now and then you do make something that tickles you as well, right? So you're kind of probably chasing that for yourself as well, and then just honing your craft the whole time that you're putting out stuff that you're like,
and if all the shitty byproduct stuff works, then all right.
My art is shit, and you keep slashing yesterday's
But
painting,
still,
starting again.
give me the monies.
Yeah. Eventually get to some point where, I guess like, I'm sure like a Dali or someone who's just producing like tons of content would be the same as well. They'd be like, most of it's awful, but like, people love me now, and they seem to just be buying all my things. And the one that he would probably be most in love with, where he finally like,
it's his veggie garden. He doesn't give a shit about his paintings. It's a small.
I'd like to think that he does have some paintings that he does like. He must. I imagine that he must, because you'd want to do it for joy. It'll have to come from a place of joy eventually, even if it's manifesting itself in creepy, demented monsters. There's got to be something in there that's just like so itching to express exactly that image, even if it's a creepy image, right?
Yeah.
Like and then when it finally does actually flop out, it's just like,
that's the one.
That's the one. But again,
for me, it's like,
that'll be that beauty's only in the eye of the beholder, and like the little details that you missed in the other 50 paintings or 50 creations that irritated you, again, I wouldn't see. And then when you're like, this is the best one, like I'd be like, well, I actually really like the green one. It goes with my house better.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I'm definitely not remembering it why, but like, so the Dali thing, I suppose that just brings an instant image of the elephant with the tiny legs.
With the long skinny legs, you mean? Yeah.
Like
the famous image.
You'd be amazed at how big that thing actually is. Like,
that picture's tiny.
No, not the picture, the sculpture.
Oh.
He's got a big ass brass, I assume it's brass, giant sculpture.
Where's this, in Spain?
No, it's in France.
Okay.
So in the top of, I'll say it's Montmartre, but I think that's wrong, but that might be right. So
I've been up there.
Yeah.
I didn't
so
actually.
he's got a workshop up there. So on the top of Montmartre, there's a workshop. You can go into Dali's workshop. And so he's got all the paintings, and some of the paintings are giant. But in the middle of the workshop, at least like 10 years ago, there's like it's like 9-10 foot tall. It's like 3 and a bit meter tall, giant elephant with the tiny, tiny legs. That's fucking beautiful. I couldn't imagine making it. I don't know. Like, you'd have to sculpt it at some point and then cast it and then do the thing to it and blah blah blah. But it's a beautiful thing.
I was just. Do you know who Sadhguru is?
No.
Some Indian yogi. I was just listening to a discussion with this Indian yogi on Joe Rogan, and it was this Indian yogi dude he's just built a 112-foot statue of apparently the first yogi who has ever existed, which is like
cool,
15,000 years ago. And it's a giant steel statue. But he said he spent 2.5 years just designing the face for the statue, because he wanted to capture a face that said like ecstasy and intoxicated and something else at the same time. He wanted to capture these like 3 randomly different human emotions on the face at the same time, with all the subtleties, where the eye will be this way and the lip will be this way and this thing. So all those like little details.
It's just like a dude gurning in the 80s. Like, Like, like way too many pills. Look at your face. You're chewing your head.
Yeah. Well, so many emotions going on in the one face at the same time when you're
Definitely should not
chewing
be
off your
100-foot
lips.
statue. But yeah, fuck, go team to them. Like, if no one else is going to make it, don't do it yourself. I think that's one of the key phrases that has been thrown around, like a lot of little communities that we hang around in. If there's something you want that's not here, make it yourself.
Yeah.
Ryan was expressing this exact thing when I was chatting with him as well. It was just this idea of like,
and no one else.
if no one else is going to do it, then then I either rest with it not getting done. I make peace with that, or I take responsibility and I pay the price of making it, whatever that price may be, right?
Yeah.
Like whatever it is, it's because it's either going to come out of me because it's kind of stuck in me, this idea that wants to be expressed, or it's not.
Yeah,
but
absolutely,
it's still, yeah.
I 100% behind that idea, because it's the same. That's the only reason why we have any cool shit is someone wanted it. No one else was doing it. I'm doing it myself, and that's how you get cool shit. Because what I consider cool or you consider cool, that person over there doesn't. So they're not going to make it. Right? If you want a cool thing, make it yourself. And the first one's always crap. I think this is like, I look at other people like, I still think I'm a shit artist. Like, I'm not good at painting. I can do little Warhammer paints and like just upscale that. Like, if you look at any of the big sculptures I've got, and then you look at like the Nurgle army, like the little fucking like, little gross demony things, which is kind of fitting. It's just an upscale version of that. But I look at other people's stuff, and yeah, a lot of people way better than me. But like, even when I started making the dolls, like the first ones were fucking hideous looking. They were gross, but they weren't good. And by the time I went through about 30 or 40 of them, I had this giant box and this wall of just fucking horrors. The last one that I made was way better than the first one, so I went through and redid them all over again. Like, the first ones always suck. Like, whatever you want to do, the first one's a shit. Just keep doing it, and eventually you'll get the cool thing. And they're probably always going to suck, but you're getting better.
Yeah, I on a different train of thought, my brother is a very talented athletic person. But whenever he wants to improve himself athletically, he falls for this trap where you look on the world of the Instagrams and you look online and you see the world's best, right? Like pretty much any topic that you're interested in when you start scrolling Instagram, you just see like
the apex of the top.
You see the 1% of the 1%, and it's so ridiculously unrealistic.
Oh yeah.
And then if you're just like watching these people who can do, and so he's a athletic person, but you're watching people lift things or backflip on things or do whatever it is you do in gyms, but you're watching the best of the best, and then you go to do the thing, and then you're like, oh, I guess I started, and then you like, try to get a little bit better, and you put quite a lot of effort into it, and you get like, you do get better, you get 10% better, but then you like become overwhelmed if you're actually like competing on this numbers game where you're like, oh, I need to be able to do that.
I'm not platinum standard.
Yeah, and it then becomes almost impossibly far off, and it's a deadly competition when you enter that
problem.
One. Yeah, yep.
It really is, because like, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all mediocre in a lot of ways, and you might be cool at one good thing.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky. But if you improve yourself a little bit over time, then like, fuck that guy. Like, he's probably a douche. He might be able to do a triple somersault backflip with a kick flip and a fucking heel flip, and like, I don't know. Might be rad. Might be a dickhead as well. Like,
well, yeah. It's so one-dimensional, the characteristics of people that you see when you're consuming content that way.
Oh yeah,
and it's just
looks
it's
great
not really
on picture, but maybe a piece of shit.
Yeah,
like yeah, fuck those guys.
Yeah, it's tough though, because we do want to share our stuff when we have our stuff as well.
Oh yeah, it'd be nice to be that guy. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'd like to, I know, be given free money for nothing for just taking a photo, but it's unrealistic. You're only hurting yourself doing that kind of game, and like, no thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, I wish I could be better at sports. Like, I hurt myself too much younger playing sports, which is why I shouldn't be lifting the big heavy things, which is the only things I make these days.
Big heavy things.
But I'm getting better at it, and that's close enough.
Yep.
I mean, we're probably all going to go into nuclear winter at some point soon. So just kind of be happy with yourself. Like
that's when the apocalyptical style festival event stuff is going to really take off, right?
Oh,
Like, that's
well,
just going to be
that's
the
it.
brand. We got a nuclear winter. We're going to be partying. It's got to look like it's Mad Max.
we joked at the start when I started doing this shit show, that I was doing the plague first. Like most of my stuff was pretty plaguey, and then the world caught up, and it's like, oh, you've taken my novelty value. What have you done? But that story's going nowhere.
If you, what are you wanting to work on in the warehouse first? Do you know what's going to be getting built in there?
Well, realistically, we got to play Captain Sensible. Like last time we did the shit show was like when the restrictions finally stopped, and then we were allowed to do stuff. So that was cool. And like realistically now, we're kind of getting in towards the peak numbers. I think it would be highly irresponsible to jam 400 people in a warehouse. Like the plague is what it is. I don't think I should be doing that kind of thing until stuff starts to calm the fuck down. But live art drawing. So like realistically, we've got a whole bunch of really rad people that can do 10 minutes on stage. Whatever their act is, whatever kind of cool stuff that they want to perform. So jump on stage, do the burlesque thing, do the fucking fruit and veg show, or do whatever the cool thing that they do, and then stand there and pose for like 10 minutes. Let a few people draw you. They go off stage, the next person comes on. Do a rad show for 10 minutes in front of, 40 people, something sensible, socially distancing or wearing masks, sitting down, fucking doing their own thing. Do a cool thing, let me draw you. Next person comes on, let me draw you. Like, I think that would be...
This is wicked because this is such a huge surprise. I wanted something more surprising. I started off talking about being really surprised about your writing skills and the book skills. And I never would have expected you to be talking about doing a live drawing class or a live art class. But I can see heaps of people frothing on that. Actually, like it'd be ridiculous. And if you would
watch it, man, some of the people that we've got do cool dumb shit. And
I think a lot of the people that do our cool dumb shit would also love the opportunity to do some cool dumb shit and then strike a pose. It'd be challenging for a lot of them actually, because a lot of them are like very good at performing in one certain way, but then standing there and just having like a
stand there, do nothing for 20 minutes.
Yeah. While everybody draws, you draw me naked, is a whole nother trip in itself. And so I'm currently imagining that this live art thing is happening on a stage with a backdrop that's your crazy shit.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Man,
there's no reason to have the warehouse without building, like transforming it into the big thing.
Yeah, this is an event that you could like definitely do live, but you could also probably broadcast this, and people could sit at home and do it from home if they can't make it to the venue, and they could watch it on their big screen television at home, and watch the whole show, and then take part in doing the drawings as well.
Realistically, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? You'd basically be seeing the very cut pause version of the big thing that I want to do next. Yeah. I think the next one's going to be a masquerade ball, because there's got to be a continuation of the story.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. A continuation of shit show, which ended with hang on. It ended with the ship crashing into the castle. Give me the names.
Yep, correct.
Name of the ship, name of the castle.
Oh God, we never actually named it. Shit, we never actually named it.
Okay, anyway,
either way,
it was the ship that old mate sails. What's old mate's name? My gosh, I've forgotten old mate.
Oh God,
the ferryman. It's the ferryman's ship.
The ferryman is
who's Chiron?
Chiron is the Lord of the Dead.
The Lord of the Dead. So yes, he was just called the ferryman. So
it's just the ferryman.
The ferryman in your last event, the ferryman brought over a bunch of people who've just passed into the underworld, and then
shenanigans.
To finish the event, some of those people were given a chance at making their life into Elysium, where they could go and live like a heavenly life in the underworld.
No, that probably would have been a nicer story, but no, that is incorrect. So the way this started, so the whole idea of being, so I am the ferryman. I am the little riverboat of the doomed. So the first time we were at Swan, we're just floating around.
Let's actually take this from the top for people who don't know about Shit Show. Just so we can paint the whole event from there. Do we actually want to start at Swan, or do we just want to start at Shit Show itself?
No, we'll start at Swan because that's a very short segue.
Yeah, cool. All right, so we're at Swan. With Swan, the event that happens in Coolin, and you ran a camp there called the Stygian Saloon. Yep. And go.
So basically, I made a wooden structure with a little wheel at the front, so it kind of looked like a paddle boat steamer. So at this point, it was just a little boat pretending to float around. So the idea behind that was the whole don't pay the ferryman, like the river Styx, which is where Stygian comes from. That's a descriptive word for the river Styx, which just means gross, odoriferous, just this putrid river. So the idea in Roman,
it's a river that you like die if you touch.
Yeah, it's it's one of the rivers of the underworld. So that's one of the crossing rivers. So you go on the river, and then you at one point, I think it's on the River Leith, you drink to remember, and then you become an angel, or you drink to forget, and then you get reborn as another person, and the cycle continues. I've got wrong way around. So you either drink to remember or drink to forget. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be a tequila bar.
Yeah.
So
we're drinking to forget.
Oh yeah, there's. Anyway, so that was round one. Round two, Shit Show. So we've got the boat again.
Hang on. Shit Show, we've talked about it a little bit this event, but essentially you rented out a giant warehouse in the very middle of the Perth city, pretty much in the very middle of the Perth city, and you filled the warehouse
right next to the entertainment center.
And you filled the warehouse with your style of decor and props that you made, and the place was rammed with equipment that you made, and the equipment was big. You built a giant wooden fortress on one end of the wall that had a DJ sitting at a booth that was maybe like 6 meters off the ground.
Yeah, there's a 11 meter by 5 meter castle on one side.
Yep. Then you also had a wooden ship.
Yeah,
pretty much looking like it was on its way to crash into the castle.
Yeah, and 8 meter pirate ship where we had a punk band playing off the top. So on top of the castle was a DJ booth. On top of the pirate ship was a punk band, and then on the other side there was dungeons and stuff, and then the rave cave in the corner. Yeah. This ended up being an event that like 500 crew came to. Most people were dressed like they belonged in the underworld because that's kind of what we wanted. And it was a themed event. It had like a story to it that was continuing. So yeah, sorry, I just wanted to get that all in there. So it's continuing from the Blaze event, but this was a kind of story in itself as well. So so it's the ferry is on the River Styx or Stygian. Yep.
And
so this time around for this event, story goes that we're all on the boat, and then being the drunken pirate captain, I crashed the boat into the castle because I passed out. Funny enough, like when I got up on stage to tell my intro story, I just blah, and then nothing came out. So realistically, I was driving the boat, passed out, crashed it into the castle. All the people fell out of the cargo, so that's why they're on the dance floor.
And those people who fell out, they're symbolic of the dead people who you are transporting to the underworld.
They're all the lost souls. So yeah, people dressed up like I gave the spiel of just, I want you to dress up like something that had died. So people dressed up like demons. They dressed up. We had a couple of people just in dressing gowns that they'd fucking fallen over in the shower. That kind of deal. It's like, dress like you're dead. So I fucked up. I crashed the boat into the castle. And so the story goes that, oh God, I got to talk insurance. So while I'm going up here to the castle to talk insurance, you guys just entertain yourself and I'll be back. And then all the acts happened. We had the shibari and the burlesque and the blah, 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 and the other things and that bit.
Favorite act? Did you get to watch the acts, or were you running around
Not
too
much.
much?
I was running around a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
one memory is like when I got off stage, I hit out the back and just like chain smoked cigarettes, and I was like, oh, I'm going to get myself a drink. So I came out, and then there's this. I look across the bar, and there's Ozak.
That's my favorite as well.
Dressed up in like this tight leather stuff and just like doing a fruit and veg show. I was like, what the fuck have I done? But it was mesmerizing. Put on such a good stage show.
For someone who's not Australian, what's a fruit and veg show?
Oh man, it's a dude covered in oil wearing a lot of leather. I don't know. Like I saw it and was like, holy shit. Yeah, doing a very erotic show with fruit and veg.
Yeah, okay. So my understanding of fruit and veg show is it comes from female strippers who ended up playing with fruit and veg because they were putting fruit and veg in and out of themselves.
True. Yeah, that's the original. This is a
that's where the name comes from. That's something that goes on in Australia in footy clubs. It's pretty mad actually that we have that so regularly in footy clubs, but that's what happens in pretty much every footy club around the country.
This was a dude
party.
simulating stuff with cantaloupes.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
he was really leaving nothing to the imagination. He was
he impressed a lot of ladies.
Full on in that. I'll get back to.
He was like the second act.
Yeah. So you're sorting out insurance for crashing your ship into Lord Chiron's castle.
Correct.
And there's a whole bunch of shows
All
that
the
go on
stuff
for hours, like just one act after another. We have Moana. We've got some strippers. We've got some everything going on, and Shibari. And then
turns out there's no insurance in hell, so they had to do a fight to the death. So this is where we had the jelly wrestling, because that was it was meant to be like demons or angels, or there's meant to be a whole storyline which would have fit, but it's like no, we're just gonna do a free for all and have this giant jelly wrestling competition, and that was meant to be the end of it. And then like you all surprised me with like a crown, and it all got kind of cute, and it was like, that bit at the end wasn't meant to happen. Like in my head, it was like the jelly wrestling, and then that was going to be the end.
And the jelly wrestlers, like the winners, were going to get themselves what? So you crashed the people in your ship, jelly wrestling, and the winners were going to get something, and the losers were going to get something else.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I think I got too tired and exhausted by the end of the planning, but yeah, so it was going to whoever wins was meant to.
I think they were going to go to Elysium. No, I think they were going to go to Elysium because the underworld has like levels of heaven in it as well. In Greek and Roman mythology, there's a part which is like crazy beautiful in the underworld.
Yeah.
Like as it's for all intents and purposes, it's heaven.
Yeah, a lot better than the seven circles. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think if I recall correctly, the people who won that jelly wrestling, like they were going to be the people who got to go and live in Elysium, and the rest of them were going to go and rot in the underworld with the rest of them. Yeah. And so it was supposed to end there, but it didn't because we surprised you, and people came up and crowned you as the Lord of the Underworld. So that's where the story's finished with this last immersive event. Yep. And so we're going to have a little segue to do some life drawing classes in a fantastic setting, and then after we're done with that segue, we're going to return to the big show. And you're going to give us a teaser on the next story.
Oh yeah, so then this time round we're inside the castle, like we're broken in.
Yeah.
So there's obviously, as castles do, they've got their ball going on. There's some other stuff going on.
That's masquerade.
They're going to be doing their kind of thing. And then obviously we're broken in. The only way to break in is through the dungeon. So there's, that thing over there. And then we'll have a masquerade ball. I think it's... And then there'll be a whole bunch of other shit going on.
Yeah.
In theory, like the blurb is masquerade.
Yeah, okay. I can only imagine it. This is going to be the fucking creepiest, weirdest masquerade. That this is going to be like those That's something I so love about the blade.
Especially we all have to wear masks still. So
fantastic! Yeah. We're just wearing them on our eyes instead of on our faces, wearing them all wrong. But that's a whole other thing. It's something I so love about the first time I discovered any of these kinds of parties. It was at Papazan's the first year that I partied there, and I went to their gold party. And I felt like I'd finally made it, like not finally, I didn't realize that I wanted this in my life, but I made it into one of those scenes that you see in the movies where people are really partying, right? Like, the Great Gatsby style party, but better. Like, something that happens in some cultish masquerade party that we see in the movies as well. This thing where like people are just partying like real humans. I was going to say animals, but I mean, it's not even animals. It's actually they're partying in the highest form of human. Like all of this crazy stuff is being expressed. And the energy
way
is
better
just
than hanging out around a glass table drinking fucking export.
yeah. And the energy that's going on in there is just like phenomenal. Like, and it just melts you. And if it doesn't melt you, you have to leave the festival. Like, if you're not going to let yourself get immersed in that thing, then you kind of have to go. No one's going to make you go, but it's
you're just taking up space now. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you'd just be like, they can't be here. But yeah, like it melted my mind for that. And yeah, a masquerade party of this style, I think would be also one that would be a mind melting experience for many a human. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, because like, let's be fair, I've never been to masquerade ball before.
Yep.
I've never done. It's like, I kind of want to.
Yep.
So we're doing it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, wicked. I want to give a quick shout out to Ozak because after watching Ozak at your event, I got in touch with him because I was like, man, that dude did some sexy things, right? And it just like it's
Such
so
a lovely guy as well.
Yeah,
like,
it's all those and the burner community has so much of that as well. Where I see these like men doing sexy things, and I've always just been someone who likes to see the women do the sexy things. And then you watch a man do a sexy thing, and you're like, wow, that's undeniably sexy.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. Like,
yeah, I don't know what's going on, but it's definitely sexy, right? And as a result of that, and a few other things in my life, I got to do a little sexy strip show at Fringe Festival. And that
Good
was
boy.
Yeah, that was the thing that I did with Owen and Steffi, and as that was happening, I actually got in touch with.
Shit, I've been thinking about doing burlesque classes just so I can do something similar to that. Yeah.
Well, we didn't do any classes. I mean, we learned how to walk in stilettos because we did it in drag, which helps. It helps to do it in something that the audience it helps to have a costume, and drag really helps as well. And an audience who comes to watch a drag show are already pretty open. If you were to do a sexy male strip show in a normal audience,
not a local pub. Yeah.
like, I feel like Ozak could almost pull it off because like he was just so convinced in himself that like even if he did it at a local pub, there'd probably be a few guys who'd actually want to kill him at the end of the show, which probably is a testament to how good he is at doing it. But it's kind of dangerous for his life there.
Go. So I'll put Ozak on stage anytime he wants. He's got to get out of the fucking Navy first. But until then, so we had him on Friday the 13th.
I love that he's in the Navy.
Yeah, no shit. It works. It fucking works. He's got another costume. So we did Friday the 13th. So the shit show was more of a dancing music and the other bits. So the Friday the 13th was just bang out Aussie death metal. So we had like 6 death metal bands and then we threw in some shibari and whatnot. Anyway, so we had this center stage. So we had the main stage where the bands play, and then a little stage where we did a little bit of shibari, a little bit of sexy things. Fucking Kurt killed Nolene again, and like her entrails fell out, and Jess fucking ate the sausages. It was fucking funny. And then Ozak gets on stage. He's dressed like Judas Priest. Like he's got his full leathers on. He's got this little unicorn fucking horn thing going on. And so he gets up on this stage. The music turns on, and he becomes a human meagering. He literally gets out this fucking tub of, 20 kilos worth of pasta. He's got his sauces. He's got the soy sauce. He's got the things. And he's just covering himself with pasta, soy sauce, hot sauce, sweet chili, fucking getting all doing the things. And this is a room full of bogans wearing fucking metal battle jackets, Slayer, fucking all this kind of like just bog standard Aussie bogan. And like this is mainly a dude's show. And they're all just watching Ozak get wild with fucking pasta. And there was like a good dozen or so dudes just like, nah, out and left. And like, good.
Just reached the limit. It's just like, I can't process. I don't want to process. I don't consent. Fair. Don't consent. I'm leaving.
No, cool. So you paid your ticket. I don't give a shit anymore. Go away, please. I don't like you. But like 200 dudes stood there and just fucking watched Ozak do his thing with pasta. And it was amazing to watch. Like this Judas Priest, like, let's be fair, a lot of the like heavy metal is pretty homoerotic, like a lot of the old bands. And he was looking like Rob Halford.
Who's Rob Halford?
He's the singer of Judas Priest, who is also like, he's the first openly gay dude in metal, like fucking back in the 70s. So he's dressed up like looking like the Village People and shit. That's like, so a bunch of dudes left, and a bunch of people were like, holy shit, that was amazing. I've never fucking seen that before, which is the point. And then we had to rip off the plastic sheet and put all this fucking pasta in a bin, and Ozak was just rad. He loved it. It was great.
Yeah.
We showed a bunch of people shit they never knew they wanted to see, or
he clearly has.
Like, you don't go to a metal show to watch a dude like do sexy shit.
Pasta strip show.
Amazing. So good.
That's probably the only time that I've ever heard of that happen. It's he really puts his energy into it. Like, he really just goes so hard in his things, and he loves it so much. And I don't know how he got to this level of like crazy weird performer. I'd love to find out, actually. It's quite a special performance that he did there. So we got to do a little one, and we performed it quite a few times, and it's really fun. Like, it's really
Disney drag, like because like those guys are like headlining Adelaide at the moment.
They've had some they're crushing it. They absolutely crushed it in Perth as well. They've got some they had an unfortunate incident with the COVID over in Adelaide as well, but they've just come out of the COVID just over a week ago, and they've added a whole bunch of extra shows, and it's wicked. They're doing some of the biggest shows that they'll do in Adelaide this year. So that strip show is not part of any of the acts this year.
But just impromptu, just. So what were you wearing? Like, what character were you?
I was Princess Jasmine. We had Princess Jasmine, and then we had Maleficent and Snow White, and
right, because I suppose it is Disney. Yeah, so I got the Frozen costume, the Ilsa.
Oh, yep.
So I found this. We found this dress in an op shop for like $3, and it fits. I got this like pretty blue dress. It's got the little fucking things and the gloves. So my plan was, if I got to ruin it. So if someone was going to happen this time around, I was not going to bitch out, and I was going to do the Grundy walk off.
Yep.
So like, I don't know if this has been talked about on the show before, but there's this thing called the Grundy walk off. It's basically a bunch of dudes doing a fucking
catwalk.
Catwalk. Little entertainment. You do it like 3 times. You get your kid off. Fucking entertainment. Everyone has fun. So I had this big plan of doing an abortion on stage. To be honest, I was just gonna take it too far. So it'd be pregnant Ilsa coming out, doing a little sexy dance, and then it would not get sexy anymore. And I just, have a doll in a plastic bag.
You're obviously not trying to win the Grundy walk off. You're just trying.
I reckon I would though. Like, give the people something they hadn't seen before. Anyway, so a plastic bag full of tomato sauce with a doll inside of it, hidden up my gut, do a little sexy dance, and go, stomach pains. Slap my gut. My waters would break everywhere. And then I'd get the doll out, and I'd fucking spin it around a little bit and like fling it out to the crowd like I'm throwing out my panties and shit. I think I'd win.
Yep. We can. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that happen. I think even though the idea has been revealed, I still think this is a.
It's going to be so much more graphic than what's in your own mind.
Yeah.
It'll be worse.
It's going to be some kind of fucking demon baby. Or at least that's what I'm just imagining. If I'm trying to make it worse, the first thing that I've seen your baby dolls. I know what they look like, so I've just gone for demon baby.
I think it'd be worse if it was a clean one. Either way, we got some time. That's next year.
Yeah, cool. So you've got a couple of big events that you're wanting to work on in the next little while. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Some things in the pipeline. Yeah, so far so good.
Yep.
So far so good.
Wicked. All right. that's a good wrap.
That's a wrap.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts? Any closing thoughts that you'd like to share with people on what it's like to just be a crazy creator?
Oh shit! Yeah, right. Fuck it. It's a hard road, but do it, man. If you want to see some things, if there's something you want to see that no one else is doing, fucking do it yourself.
Gotta make it.
Yeah, it's gonna suck at the start. It's gonna look like shit at the start, but it'll get better. Just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And any thoughts on how for people to just who haven't really participated much, but they're maybe wanting to participate more. Like, what's how do we get into this?
Oh man, it's just taking a first step. Like I'd never volunteered for anything. I think this is probably the whole game of it. Like, volunteer for stuff. A lot of this arts and crafts shit, there's not enough money to pay me, let alone pay anyone else. Volunteer for stuff. That's how you get your inroads in. That's how you meet the people, the other people that are doing weird shit or whatever the fuck you want to do. And then if you start volunteering at their stuff, they'll start volunteering at your stuff, which is the only way any of this has worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'd helped out on enough other people's shows that, man, I'm calling in that favor. I think that's how this worked for me. It's taking that first step. That first step is the hardest one because it's a lot easier to not do that. But it's a good road to go down. Be helpful, then other people will be helpful back. And yeah, man, just do it.
Yeah.
Why the fuck not? Otherwise, you're just going to work a dead-end job and it's going to be the same shit in 10 years' time. Try something different. Try something new. Fucking take that art class. Go dancing. Who gives a fuck?
Yep.
People don't like it, then they're not your tribe. Eventually you'll find your people.
Yep.
It took me fucking 35 years to find my people. And fuck them if they can't take a joke.
Yep. Wicked. There we go. Thanks, James.
High fives.
There you go. That's James Hastings. I hope you enjoyed listening to that conversation. I know I had a great time. Our conversation actually continued a little bit afterwards, where I got James to do a reading from his book. And we also talked about what's going to be the biggest event in the world is coming to Australia in 2023. And we'd love for the community of listeners and the community of people who have been on this show to have a huge part in the creation of that. If you want to be involved and want to learn more about it, you got to come check us out on Patreon to get the inside scoop. I will be sharing more and more of that publicly soon anyway, but it's the Patreon community that are going to support the bringing together of this creation and all the other wonderful content that's going to go on there, and enable you, all of those people involved in that community, to really participate in what's going to be one of the greatest times on earth. I'm excited for it. But yeah, check out more on Patreon for some good times.